Vukruz, you missed it yesterday. We had an hour-long conversation with me, Hurricane, and Jeff. I don't know how it started, but it just did. We just started talking about stuff, and it just rolled on for like an hour. About what? Let's see. What was the name of did I give? What name did I give it? Up on YouTube, the name I gave it was. Come on, hurry up! Don't got all day. So, just chatting, November 15th, 2023. Games, Star Wars, turkeys, Bob, rain, and dog farts. Yes, every one of those things was a subject matter that we talked about yesterday. Some others too. I just didn't have enough room for everything. But that's basically what we talked about yesterday for an hour. It actually went really well. It is shame on you. 2024 games we were interested in, some really random topic. Yeah, it got really random. So, like I said, there was just the ones I named off, and there was others too. Some of them much shorter than others, but you know. But yeah, we're not doing that again today. I don't have that much material to work with today. Oh, wait a minute. Do I? Oh, actually, I do. It's right there in my notes. I totally forgot. Almost forgot about this. Today's an anniversary day for me. That's right. I keep track of the important days of my life. Like 31 years ago today, I was in my motorcycle accident. Well, I would be in my motorcycle accident approximately, 9 hours, 9, 10 hours, somewhere around there. So 10 hours, so almost 31 years today. No, not a bike, motorcycle. It's not a bike, it's a motorcycle. Very different. 31 years ago today. Or tonight, actually, is accurate. Do you want the details? Spent 4 days in the hospital. Got my kneecap scraped by a New York doctor trying to get all the grit and stuff out of my knee. Spent 4 days in the hospital. Walked around on crutches for a long time. When I worked comp, well, it wasn't work comp. It was disability. I was actually on disability for a few months. Got paid to stay home. Screwed up in the way I was collecting because I've got vacation time. I was getting vacation time at the time, or I had sick time to use, and I was taking too much. Found that out because the way it works here in California is we pay into uh, disability insurance, so that if you do get hurt outside of the job, because if you get hurt on the job, it's workers' compensation. Your employer has to pay for it, and there's that kind of fun stuff. However, if you get hurt outside of the job that prevents you from working, you go on disability insurance, which you pay into through your taxes and stuff. So I was on that because this happened outside of work, and it's tax-free money, but you only get paid. I think it's 2/3 or 3/4 of your salary. That's because it's tax-free. They don't give you your full payment because they're assuming that, well, the general idea is they give you what your income would be post taxes. So you're not paying taxes on the money, but you don't get your full salary. So, so that I didn't know that at the time. And I was taking, because I knew I was only getting, whatever it was, 2/3 or 3/4, and I was taking sick time on top of that. That was being taxed, but I should not have been doing that, as I came to find out later on. It screwed my income taxes a little bit that year, but it wasn't a big deal because it wasn't that much money. It wasn't working full time at the time. I was still only doing, I think I was doing between 2 to 4 days a week at that time. Yeah, I was between 16 and 32 hours at that point of time, and so it was no big deal. But anyway, so I was taking too much money. Um, then I had to have a skin graft done because I had a big hole in my knee, and it didn't close up all the way that it was supposed to be. And although I had been using aloe vera gel on the wound every time I would change the bandages and stuff, we put basically a bunch of aloe vera gel on the gauze that was being put on my knee, and that helped the hole fill in faster than it should have, or that the doctor was expecting. and so the hole closed up faster than he was expecting. But he still had to do a skin graft because it was a decent sized hole. So I had to have surgery for that. That was pleasant. Um, and after that, almost got arrested for drunk driving. That I wasn't. Well, I was drinking, but I wasn't drunk driving. If that makes sense. Got out of it mainly because, oh, sorry, officer, I'm not going to be able to walk it down a straight line because I just had surgery on my knee last week. I can drive, but I can't walk in a straight line. And he just kind of looked at me and I go, You want to see the bandages?" He goes, "No, that won't be necessary." And I'm pretty sure that kept me out of going to jail. So, and losing my license too, probably. Um, then after that, again, I didn't work. See, this again, it happened. See, November 15th or 16th. I didn't go back to work until like March, I think it was. I was out of work for like close to 6 months because the nature of my job. My boss told me, because I would come back to work after about a month or so, and I go, it's just, gave him an update on how I was doing. He goes, "When do you think you'll be able to come back?" And I go, "I can walk and stuff, but I don't know. I can't kneel. I still can't kneel. That's going to be a little while off still." And then he says, "Okay, well, when you're able to kneel, come back and we'll talk and stuff." And about a month later, I came back and I said, "Okay, I can kneel now." He goes, "Can you go up a ladder?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "Well, you go up and down ladders and stairs all the time. Can you do that?" I go, "I know I can go up and down stairs, but a ladder's a different story. I don't know. I haven't tried." He goes, "Well, how convenient. We've got a ladder right here to get up onto the roof," because we were outside. At the time, there was a ladder to get up onto the roof of the hospital. And he goes, "If you can climb that ladder, you can come back to work tomorrow if you want." And I just went, I got 2 rungs up and I go, "I can't go up this ladder." And he goes, "Okay, well, come back in a month and we'll see how it goes." And like I said, and a month later, I was able to do it. So yeah, I was out of work for close to 6 months. Had to have been at least 6 months. The more I think about it, because in November, I'm pretty sure I didn't come back until like late March, early April. So it was a while before I was able to come back to work. Because again, it's because at the time I was doing maintenance slash security stuff on graveyard shift. So if I were to fall or anything, there'd nobody in most areas of the hospital that I was going into, nobody would know for hours and hours before I was even injured or anything. So there was that whole work compensation issue, was a thing. So, but yeah, so that was fun. How much rehab did I need to do to get back in shape? Um, I don't remember doing rehab. The only rehab I didn't do, I don't think I did any official rehab. I probably should have, but I don't remember doing any. Because again, it was, yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I was doing rehab, but it was my own. Like going up and down, because again, living on the second story, because I actually was living in the same place that I'm living now. And we're up on the second floor, so we have this nice little stairway that I had to go up and down anyway. And that's always fun going up and down on crutches. But after I was off crutches, it was, I would just go up and down the stairs a couple of times in the morning, a couple of times in the afternoon, a couple of times in the evening, depending on what my schedule was. I would just go up down like three to 5 times roughly. Actually, it would be 2 to 6, right? Go down, then go back up. So I do that a couple of times, a day. Do that kind of stuff. Um, and I don't do bicycle machines because my knee just didn't like those anyway. That had nothing to do with the motorcycle accident. That was the original knee injury. Um, but I walked as much as I could, and I was going to school too, because even though I wasn't working, I was still going to school, and they had a nice little service where because of the size of the campus, walking everywhere on crutches would have been suicidal. But ah, I'm watching my Steam accounts, and Owlcat just revoked one of my Rogue Trader licenses stuff. The Rogue Trader Alpha. I think that's the first one. I think that's the first one that did. Because I had 2 of them. So anyway. isn't rehab covered by your health insurance? It probably was, but if the doctor doesn't prescribe it, it doesn't happen. And I don't remember. Oh, because it's the Rogue Trader thing. It was a key from Alcat to do the alpha stuff, pre beta, whatever. Because I actually had two. Let's see. Yeah, I actually had two keys from them. There was one for the alpha, and then there was for the second play test. And they just revoked the alpha one because Rogue Trader's coming out soon. And as far as I know, the other one is going to. I'm not surprised about the alpha being revoked because that's pretty standard procedure for as a streamer and stuff when you have early access games. It's not unusual for devs to take away the first key they give you, and if you do, you actually put up videos and stream the games and stuff like that, they will give you the key for the game. That's happened more than once. So, but they haven't revoked the other one yet, which is the play test key. I think this is the key that matters, but we'll see what happens. I don't think they might revoke it, but I doubt it because I did what the contract said. So we'll see. Yes, the release is coming closer and closer. It's not a big deal. But anyway, back to the motorcycle accident stuff. Rehab. I don't remember doing rehab. I might have, but I don't remember it. Mainly because maybe I didn't need it. Because like I said, I was going to school. I was going to University of California, San Diego, and that campus is fairly large. There's a lot of walking to get from class to class, and or building to building type stuff. And even though they had a service for, if you're on crutches or, some type of disability where you can't walk far distances, they have a little golf cart pick you up and take you from where you need, from point A to point B, which I only used a couple of times while I was on crutches. But once I was off crutches, I walked everywhere. So maybe that was my rehab and I didn't really need anything. So, but again, like I said, I don't remember doing any actual rehab for the motorcycle accident. I remember clear as day for the other stuff when I originally hurt my knee, but I don't remember it for the motorcycle accident. Maybe because I'd figured out what I needed to do and it wasn't necessary, or at least my doctor didn't think it was necessary. Because, like I said, I recovered fairly well from the motorcycle accident, and I think that was mainly from practice on needing what I needed to do because that was 6 years. Motorcycle accident was 6 years after my initial knee injury. So in those 6 years, I had hurt my knee a few times and had a couple of surgeries related to the initial injury. So I'd been through rehab a number of times already. So I knew what to do, and I knew what they would do to me. That, the torturers that they are, the physical therapists, which are your professional torture masters of the modern world, and I say that with the utmost respect, by the way. It's not that I don't like physical therapists, but if they're good at their jobs, they are torture masters. They really are. And that just shows they're good at their job and they enjoy it. I need a tighten knee. No more chances of getting injured. I want to jinx myself, but I haven't hurt my knee in a little while. And by hurt, the last dislocation was about 10 years ago now. Last time I dislocated my kneecap was about 10 years ago. And I really haven't hurt it. I mean, I banged it and fallen on it and stuff like that, but nothing bad, really. So, yeah, it happens. But anyway, so what else for the motorcycle accident stuff? Like I said, life was pretty much back to normal within 6 months for the most part. Because it's post-skin graft, going back to work, walking without a limp, everything's good. So the scar is there, though. Oh, and don't believe the hype that scars fade with time. They don't fade with time. They just change colors. They don't fade. They just change colors. Real scars, they don't fade. Real scars stay with you forever. And like I said, the only difference between the scar of today versus the scar of 30 years ago is the coloring. It's a little bit more pink, less purple. That's all it really is. Yeah, scars are real scars never go away. Little ones, they'll fade into oblivion over time. But the real ones, they stay with you forever. Had some for 3 or 4 decades. Right. I mean, that's hell. I've got one on the back of my wrist when I was had a surgery on my wrist when I was 14. That scar's still there. That's shit. Almost 40 years. Yeah, it's coming up on 40 years on that surgery, and that scar is still almost plain as day. And when I get cold, it turns purple. That's the funny part. Is if I go out in the cold weather and I don't wear long sleeves or something, the scar turns purple and it shows up really nicely. So there's that one. We're stabbed in the arm. It did get smaller. Yeah, cuts tend to get smaller. I've noticed that the various puncture wounds and cuts that I've had over the years have pretty much faded. Like for the first knee surgeries that I had, I can't find those scars anymore. Mainly because they were arthroscopic surgeries. They're not the old style where they actually cut into your knee and stuff to fix stuff. They was just little incisions they make to insert the instruments, and they're only about maybe a centimeter long and not even that thick. And I had four technically. 3 for the surgery, and then 1 for the second surgery where it had some bone and stuff had to be removed. That one was a little bit bigger, but they've all basically faded away. I can't find them anymore. Even the larger one that was actually on the back of my knee, I try to find it every now and then. And actually now it occurs to me, every now and then the back of my knee itches a lot, and I'm not sure why, but it's always in the same spot, and I think it's the scar, what's left of it. I can't really see it because it's on the back of my knee, and I can't feel it. But every now and then it gets really itchy in that same spot, and I think it's the scar. So, looking at that back of that, and the freckles didn't come back. There you go. There you go. And I actually think I took a picture of my knee last year for the 30th anniversary. I'm pretty sure I took a picture of that scar on my knee. Huh? I did. Now I gotta look. Did I take a picture of that scar last year? Because you know me, I am very much into nostalgia. I sure did. It's not even that bad. It's because I'm so white, it just washes out the picture. I'm looking at it now. It's not even that bad. Yes, I'll PM you the image. I won't share it on stream because it really isn't that bad. The best part is you can still see where my kneecap is trying to poke through the new skin, and new skin in quotes, and yeah, you can tell because the skin it's really thin in that area, and the kneecap is when it presses up against it, looks like it's trying to poke its way out. It's kind of funny. So anyway, anything else? Any more questions about my motorcycle accident? Oh, tomorrow though. Tomorrow is even a bigger day. Tomorrow is the 19th anniversary of my MS diagnosis. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Probably a little bit longer. We'll see. Lots to talk about tomorrow. But anyway, that's tomorrow. So how's this for a time of the month? November suck. Helmet Hair, welcome to the stream. Did I play Road Rash in real time? I did. I played Road Rash in real life. Actually, I didn't even bring that part up about the actual accident, did I? Oh, the MS stuff? MS 2023? Oh, sorry, Walk MS. This whole thing? There we go. Oh, that's just the link to the... No, that's actually not what we want. We want... That's the one we want. That first link there, that's the one that goes to the videos. The second link, the stompingoutms.org one, that's for donation stuff, which I think you can still make donations. I think that's a year-round thing now. I haven't even looked. But I'm pretty sure that's a year-round thing now. Nope, it's not a year-round thing. They lied to me. So it doesn't work anymore. Tires. Link to the explanation of oh yeah, that's the best place to go. There is go to gimpyknee.com and go to the about section, and there's links about to what is MS, who gets it, that kind of stuff. Go to the about section if you're interested, of course. Again, we'll be talking about it tomorrow. But as far as the actual motorcycle accident that I totally bypassed at the start was, yes, I experienced a motorcycle accident 31 days tonight. Sorry, not 31 years ago tonight. About 9 p.m. Tonight will be the actual anniversary when it happened. I hit the ground doing about 70 miles per hour, which is about, 120 kph, somewhere around there. Was wearing a helmet, obviously, because I wasn't. I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking at the moment. I'd probably be in the ground. After hitting the ground, doing the whole roll thing, going ground, sky, ground, sky, ground, sky, stopped, listening to the horn on my motorcycle going off to my right, and sitting up or propping myself up on my elbows. And actually, no, that wasn't the first thing I did. I actually flipped open my visor first because I was wearing a full face helmet, and I flipped up the visor so I could see more clearly. And so I propped myself up my elbows, and looking down towards my feet, the first thing that I see is my kneecap. And when I say my kneecap, I mean the actual kneecap, no skin on top of it. There was a nice big hole on the top of my knee. And so I could see the kneecap, I could see tendons, ligaments, everything that's inside the knee. So it wasn't as bloody as you think it would be. And then I look over to my right-hand side, and there's the motorcycle wrapped around a light post, or actually it was a traffic signal post, and it was wrapped around that, and that's why the horn was going off. There's no more details really to tell. I mean, it's just that. And after I looked to the right, I just laid down to the ground, and within a couple of minutes, one of my friends that I was out with, he pulled up in his truck, and he's all, "You all right?" I go, "I think so." and then I asked about my other friend who was also on a motorcycle, but he was in front of me, and he was gone. But he ends up coming back eventually. And then somebody in the area had called the ambulance, and the ambulance showed up and took me to the hospital, that kind of stuff. What was the reason for the accident? Don't know. It was a road that I've been up and down many times. It's just basically anywhere it's going downhill this time. And it's just this big turn going, if you're going up, it's turning to the right. And if you're going down, it's turning to the left. And it's just this big long turn. And the speed limit's about 40, I think it was like 40, 50 miles per hour, which is kph, 60 to 70, somewhere around there. I don't know. But that's normal. So yes, I was speeding. I was actually going faster than 70 at one point. But I wasn't. That night I was not going. I had been down that hill going faster than 70 in the past, but this night I just didn't. I wasn't. I was 70. I was perfectly happy with, and something happened, and I just felt my back tire kick out, and next thing I know, the bike is coming down on the left side, and that's why it's my left knee, and hit the ground, got pulled up, got separated from the bike. It's going skidding down towards the light post, and I'm doing the roll thing. End up with a big hole in my knee. Ended up with a hole down at my foot, my left foot as well. Barely missed the tendon by my big left toe. Sorry, my big toe on my left foot. Barely missed the tendon for that toe. Had a nice hole there. Scraped up my left arm really good. I was wearing a jacket, not leather though, and it basically ripped through the material of the jacket and tore up my arm pretty good. And then my hip, again, not wearing leathers. I was just wearing, I think, jeans, and it basically hitting like I said, my whole left side, it ripped through the jean area, and that whole area, my hip got torn up pretty good too. So, so I got a little bit of road rash on my left side. It's not huge. It's not a lot. It's really not really that noticeable. So, do I remember the moment of the crash? I just described it. So, but yes, I remember the moment. I still have nightmares about it. Well, my nightmares may not be the real description. I have dreams about it still. To this day, I still dream about the accident. Just like I still dream about my initial accident playing football too. I still have dreams about that stuff on a regular basis. The only dreams that I have a tendency to remember are those two. If I were wearing the full protective gear, you would be much less damaged. Yeah, but no, they're not really nightmares. They used to be, but not anymore. That's the funny part. If you would have asked me this, if I would have been talking about this 20 years ago, I would describe them as nightmares. But now, 30 years, almost 40 years after my initial knee accident, they're not nightmares anymore. They're just dreams, and it's just what they are. But again, if I had been wearing a full set of leathers, I would have probably no problems whatsoever. But keep in mind, I was basically a starving college student at the time. I couldn't afford a full set of leathers. Luckily I put out the money for a good quality helmet, which is a good thing because that thing had a big old gash on the left side above my eye. The gash had to have been, I want to say, 3 to 4 inches long, which is what, 2.5 centimeters per inch. So what is that? 10 to 12 centimeters long of a gash above my left eye. It started right above where the face mask was, because it was a clear plastic face mask that flipped up, and the gash was just above that, which would have been probably right above my left eyebrow, and it would have streaked back to almost the middle of my skull. So yeah, the helmet saved my life, no doubt. No doubt it saved my life. There's no way I was going to have a motorcycle without a helmet. And not to mention it was the law. In California, it was law at that point. Because you had to wear motorcycles, or you have to wear a helmet when you ride a motorcycle. It's been law since late 80s, early 90s, very early 90s, because this happened in 92. And it was law by then. And I had been working in a hospital too for a few years too. And I had seen people come in from motorcycle accidents. And when the ones that don't wear the proper helmets, what happened to them? As in, I saw one guy die because he was not wearing a proper helmet. He was trying to be Mr. Tough Biker dude, and he was just wearing, this is what the bikers used to do to show how tough they were. Their helmet would be like a little skull cap, little piece of metal, that skull cap that they wore. It was totally worthless. And when I was working in the hospital, I won't get too graphic, but this guy was wearing this thing and he ended up dead. Because when he crashed, he smashed his head into a fence, and he just didn't survive. And that alone is motivation to wear a full face helmet. When you see somebody that has their face smashed in, because that's what happened. So if you're gonna get a motorcycle, get a proper helmet. Don't go Mr. Tough Guy, I don't need a full face helmet. You're gonna want one. So did I have a cool World War II helmet? No, I did not. I had a full face racing helmet, basically is what it was. Basically the same type of helmets they wear in when they do motorcycle racing. It's a full face helmet. It's padded. It's got vents in it and everything. Yeah, a World War II helmet would not. Those don't keep you alive, and they don't keep the bugs out of your teeth either. That was another thing. I don't understand how people can ride around without face masks on and doing a motorcycle, because they look cool. They look stupid to me. Because when I see them, I go, "You're gonna die." And honestly, when I see people riding a motorcycle and they're not wearing a full face helmet, I go, "You're gonna die," and it just because I've seen it happen. So I mean, it's bad enough that I've been through the experience myself, and I know what's gonna happen. I know how it's gonna happen. That's the funny, but it's not funny, but it's the scary part. But you're not that good at protecting your head from injuries. No, they are not. No, they're not. I think like I said, the racing helmets, they look cool. And what's kind of funny is my friend who was there, he's the one who actually got me into riding motorcycles in the first place. Is after after I had recovered and stuff, and he brought my helmet to the hospital room the following day, and I was in the bed, I was all drugged up on morphine and stuff, and he comes in and he plops the helmet down on the overbed tray so that it's facing me, and he goes, "Here's your helmet." And he goes, "See this gash? This is really cool." I go, and then he goes, "Can I have it?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "Can I have your helmet?" He goes, "You don't need it anymore. Can I have it?" I go, "Sure." Can't take it. So he took it and he actually patched up the gash a little bit and he repainted the helmet and everything. So he, because his helmet wasn't as good, he said. So, uh, the Flash should wear a helmet and have a visor for bugs. It is. Well, that's the funny thing about, like, again, wearing a full face helmet and stuff is I was cleaning that thing off almost every day. The bugs and stuff that get collected on that. And I'm cleaning it off and I'm thinking, people who don't wear these face masks, this is hitting their faces. And it's like that's nuts. I mean, I'm guessing they're getting an extra dose of protein when they open their mouth, but I mean, that I don't understand why you would want to do that. I mean, having bugs bounce off your face and stuff. Because if you're going any speed over, if you're doing, on the freeway and whatever, there's all kinds of things that can hit you in the face. Not just bugs, but little pieces of rock and gravel. They get thrown up at you too. So, so I don't understand how people can ride around with a full with an empty face, an open faced helmet. No, not the rocks. Not the rocks. And it's again, it's funny. It's not stuff that you normally think about when you're in a car because a lot of that stuff is hitting your car too. You just don't realize it because it's so tiny and you don't feel it. But unless it bounces off your windshield and cracks your windshield, imagine one of those rocks that bounces off. You're on the freeway, you're cruising along, and you see this rock bouncing down the freeway, and it hits your windshield and it cracks it. Imagine that hitting you in the mouth. So think about that for a second. Imagine that hitting you in the mouth. So, yeah. It's just saying. And once again, we are 40 minutes in, and I'm still talking, not playing a video game. This happened yesterday, too. I should stop. Unless there's more questions. If you guys want to talk about, motorcycles and motorcycle accidents and, my experience and stuff, feel free. And for the record, I am not getting another motorcycle unless my wife and my mom die before me. If they manage to die before me, I will get another motorcycle, but that's not looking very good at the moment. So, just saying. Why? It is a quite nice chat. It is. It's a little different. It's a little different. 2 days in a row, even. But yeah, like I said, my mom, when I first got my motorcycle, my mom was pissed. She was super pissed because she's a nurse, or she was. She is a retired registered nurse now, but at the time she wasn't. Wouldn't have mattered. She'd seen plenty of motorcycle accidents too in her day. She was pissed when I got a motorcycle. She was super pissed, and luckily I didn't know Mrs. Gimpy at the time. I would be meeting Mrs. Gimpy for another 4 years. Yeah, I met her in '96. The accident happened in '92, so I would be meeting Mrs. Gimpy for another 4 years or so. But even then, you know, every time this comes up, she goes, "Do you ever want to get another motorcycle?" And I said, "I would like to, but as long as my mom is alive, there's no way that's going to happen because she'd kill me this time around. I'm pretty sure she would." And she goes, "Oh, don't worry. If she doesn't, I will." I went, "Okay, then. No motorcycle until you're both dead." So that's how that works. Oh yeah, I would love to be able to ride a motorcycle. I loved riding a motorcycle. I really did. I only rode it for like a year or so, and I loved it. It was so much fun. It was just, I mean, there's some downsides to it and stuff like assholes and cars and stuff, but for the most part, it was a lot of fun. It's something I really enjoyed. So I'd love to be able to do it again. But the problem is I don't think I'd be able to with my messed up. I don't think my knee can support it anymore. Can I write it in my condition? My MS condition is not a big deal. It's my main concern with riding a motorcycle today would be my knee, my actual knee, which is not related to MS. It's the injuries that I've taken over the years and stuff. I don't know if I'd be able to support the weight of a motorcycle on my left side at all. Um, so there's that. But as far as MS stuff, I don't think that's a factor. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's not a factor when I drive, and for the most part, and it's not like I'd be walking. So it's different. Oh, the lack of feeling in my feet. That's actually not a big deal for motorcycles. You can actually do almost everything from with your hands. Because the only thing that, what is it? It's brake and shifting, right? Because the hands, it's throttle, clutch, brake. Yeah, left hand is brake, right hand is throttle and clutch. And then feet, I think the right side is shifting, left side is brake. That might be an issue. Maybe. I don't know if it would be. In all honesty, until I tried it out, I wouldn't know. Because I can feel pressure in my feet. Because I can drive. I can drive a car, but I don't feel the pedals. This is something I learned, is because, again, this is multiple sclerosis related stuff. My feet went numb and tingly back in 2005, but I can still drive. It took me a little while to relearn how to use my feet when driving. Mainly, it's just the one foot though. If it's an automatic, if I'm driving manual, haven't even tried. But using an automatic, it's just learning to feel the pressure differences throughout my foot and calf for gas and brake, and it's just a matter of learning how to do it. It just took time to do it, and I think motorcycle would be the same way. It's because it's not so much having the numbness; it's a matter of feeling the pressure. Because even when you're doing braking and shifting with a motorcycle, you can still feel the pressure and resistance in your calf and various parts of your foot. So yeah, I think I'd be able to do it. It definitely takes some practice, but I think it's possible. I don't think the numbness would be a big deal because again, I drive and it's similar as far as learning how to be accustomed to the different pressures that you feel. Because I remember having this conversation with my cousin way back actually it was about 10 years ago now. Um, he lives in Colorado, but we were in Arizona for Christmas one year, or about 10 years ago now, and visiting family and whatever. And it was just the two of us driving around. I was driving, and he goes, "Aren't your feet numb?" But I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "How are you driving if your feet are numb?" I go, "I've learned to basically feel what you're actually, because when you don't think about it when you're driving is, but you can actually sense, there's your feet give you signals when you're driving if you pay attention to them. And I've just learned to focus on them a little bit more. It's taken some practice, but I've learned that my feet and my calf muscles feel different when I'm using the pedals. And it's just a matter of practice. And if you notice we may be braking a little, awkwardly from time to time, that just means I'm not focusing enough, that kind of stuff, or we accelerate too quickly. It's just I'm not focusing enough. And again, it's just a matter of getting in the habit. So start with a quad motorcycle. I don't think they make those for that are street legal. I know they have the tricycle type motorcycles. Some of them with the two wheels in front, or two in the back. But I don't think they actually have any street legal quads that are motorcycle types. I think it's just motors. I think, like I said, they have two-wheel motorcycles and three-wheelers, but I don't think they have quads. Jet cycle for extra danger. Yes, the jet cycle. But yeah, it's been an interesting 30 plus years, that's for sure. Experimental hover one. Oh yeah, no, that's okay. I'll wait for the hover cars before I worry about the hover motorcycles. If they can pull off a hover car, I think we'll start looking at motorcycles. I can't imagine motorcycles being a hover vehicle. That would be scary. Simply, I mean, how would they do that? They have one for your hands, which seems iffy. The hover thing? Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, I don't know. Is that even real? Every time I see somebody doing that, it's like, is that actually even real? Is that just special effects? It's real, huh? I'd have to see that with my own eyes before I'd say that was real. It doesn't, yeah, just the whole idea. It's like you're basically trying to be Iron Man, right? Because that's how Iron Man works, isn't it? He's got his little jet boots and then his hands too. Somebody's read too many Iron Man comics or seen too many movies. Well, it can't be great. That's the thing. I mean, it can't be that big of a. In order to put the thrust out to move a human body, the device to do that's got to be a decent size, and then again the fuel, if it's more than likely going to be liquid fuel, because the electrical one you'd have to have a battery which would probably be heavier. So I don't think our current technology is going to support that really well. I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's a power source that can do it to make it reasonable, right? Because it's just the weight involved. Because it's pushing air, so that means they're using a fan of some sort, which means a motor. Motors require fuel, either electricity or gas, or that kind of stuff, and that means an engine if it's using a fuel like that. So that's got to be messy. That's yeah, I don't see it being a really plausible thing at this point. And as you add weight, you have to add more thrust and more fuel, right? So it can't be super. I think electricity might be the best way to go, but then you're going to have a battery, and the battery I think will be eaten up really quickly because batteries aren't super efficient. So yeah, it's a weird technology. I mean, it's great for comic books and movies, but in real life, I don't think it's very plausible at this point. So anyway, it's almost break time. 2 days in a row. So what else should we talk about? Mrs. Gimpy came in here earlier, and she heard me talking about the motorcycle accident. She just kind of rolled her eyes and walked away. She doesn't like it when I talk about my motorcycle accident because it usually ends with, "You want to touch my scar?" She doesn't like my scar. She hates my knee. You see, I didn't show the new Baldur's Gate cartoon. She wouldn't get that one at all. Because the newest Baldur's Gate called cartoon wasn't as potentially offensive as the one that I showed her. This one is actually the newest one is actually fairly clean. I mean, there's nothing really bad about it. I don't think nothing made me roll my eyes really, as far as being overtly trying to be offensive type deal. No, this one I thought it was okay. I mean, I don't. The newest one was. I think the first one is still the best. This one was okay, but it wasn't. They were going for the laughs and whatever, and you connect with it because I did the four. We've all done the four fails, knowing that there's a hole in the ground or a chest in the ground that everybody fails, so you can't dig it up. There's that frustration, but or jumping into the hole and dying. That happened too. So that's no big deal, right? Just a cartoon. But no, she hasn't seen it. She hasn't seen it. She's not a Baldur's Gate 3 person, so that's not her type of game at all. Really, it's not. Let's see.
Guns off.
No. Guns weren't on. Are we done? Did we drive Vukrils away? He hasn't said anything in a while. He must be getting his tea. But anyway. Shit. Now everything's messed up. My whole schedule. I've run out of stuff. Unless we're going to keep talking about the motorcycle stuff. Motorcycle accident. I can provide in great detail what it was like laying in the emergency room having my knee scraped. That was pleasant. That's something I recommend everybody not do, have to live through. Uh, Morphine is good. Morphine. If you haven't tried it, I strongly recommend you try it at least once in your lifetime. Don't get addicted to it, though. I did. I actually got well, it wasn't the morphine that got me. It was the pain pills they put me on to go home with, which was it Percocet? I don't remember what it was. Whatever the opioid of choice was back in '92, I got addicted to that. And then when I realized I was addicted to it, I stopped taking it, and I said, "Screw it, I'll suffer through the pain." Because going through the withdrawals of not having the medication or the drug on a regular basis, the clenching of your stomach and the itch. Well, no, the itchiness didn't start until after you stop taking it, but your body telling you, "Hey, I want more," it sucks. It was worse. I think it was worse than the actual pain that my knee was giving me. The drug addiction was worse than the actual pain. And I said, "Screw this, not taking the drugs anymore." And then I got to go through the withdrawals where you think it feels like you got ants crawling through your skin everywhere, based specifically in your arms and your thighs. Oh, it sucked. But, kick the habit. Woohoo. Didn't replace it with another one, even better. Whatever it gave you, it was like time travel. For me, I know it was specifically morphine when it was in the hospital. I remember that. And I remember, was it the first night or the second night? It had to be, well, see, the first night I was so drugged, they gave me enough morphine to get me through the night. But it would have been the second night. It would have been Tuesday evening is when the night shift. Ugh, the drugs wore off. The morphine wore off, and they were taking their sweet time answering the nurse calls. I'm hitting the button. They go, "What do you need?" I go, "Morphine." I go, "Okay, be there in a minute." Don't know how much time passed. It was too long. Hit the nurse call button. "What do you need?" "Morphine." "Be there in a minute." I swear, if I wasn't dreaming it, oh, I was pissed. But the thing is I was close. My room was close enough to the nursing station, so I could hear them talking. And they weren't talking about me, but I could hear the nurses talking. And and then when I hit the nurse call button, I can hear the buzzer going off at the nurse call station. I can hear the buzzer going off, and then I can hear them going, "What do you need?" And I can hear the nice little echo there. And I go, "Morphine." And they took forever to respond. And when they finally did, I was so pissed. And then I actually, made the mistake of, how many times did I call you guys? And they go, "Once." And I go, "Are you serious?" And they go, "Yeah, that you only called us once." And I went, "Ah." So drugs do amazing things. Whether they were telling the truth or not, I don't know. I assume they are. I have generally a high opinion of nurses overall because my mom's a nurse and I was working in healthcare at the time, and I worked in healthcare for 20 years. I wasn't an actual patient care person, but I worked with nurses on a regular basis. And my opinions of them are fairly high in the crap they had to put up with. So I took them at the word saying that I only called them once, which is very possible. Because again, I was pretty high on morphine at the time. So, how long did it really take? I honestly don't know. But the next couple of nights were better though, because again, I was only there for 4 days total. We won't go into what I had to go through during the day though. That was not pleasant. But yeah, where's Vukrulz? If Vukrulz was here, I'd go through the day stuff because he'd appreciate that. Anyway, what I think I'm going to do, just like yesterday, talk too long. We'll play a game eventually when I get back, because I'm going to take an early break, slightly early, about 3 minutes early. I'll be back in about 3 minutes or so, and we'll actually get into Baldur's Gate, because I'm done talking about this stuff. Talking is fine, but I need to play video games, or Vukrulz. I almost called you Jeff, but I need to play video games. I need to talk about something else that's not real. Because now, what's going to happen now is I'm going to dream about this tonight, and I'm going to blame you, Vukrulz. I'm blaming you. Because I'm going to have to go through this dream. So, anyway, like I said, going to take an early break. Get back. We'll get started with Baldur's Gate 3. Apologize for not playing it already. This was not really the plan, but that's what happens. Haha, can't escape. Can't escape. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to get up, share some legs, get some water, go see what Mrs. Gimpy wanted because she wasn't here earlier. Wanted to talk to me, but I'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the dog video you've been watching for the past hour.